Okay, I'm Dr. Lauren French, and I graduated from NBNB in 2001 from Ron Harris Warwick's lab. Now I am an associate professor and currently the chair of the biology department at Allegheny College, and I'm also very active in the neuroscience program there. Oh, it was exciting, and so much to take in, and I think it was confusing, and it was exhilarating, and best of times, worst of times type of situation. And I really identified, there were people at the celebration today talking about how they had no clue what they were getting into, and I think that was, I knew that I wanted to pursue research in the cellular molecular area, and I knew that I wanted to teach, and how to get there I didn't know. And but I found the graduate students especially so cohesive and so inviting, and I didn't have other students who came in the same year that I did, but everybody, I talked to everybody about choosing an advisor, and and how to get from point A to point B. And so it was it developed me intellectually for sure, challenged me every day. And so as we've talked about the stratification of I think I'm to one extreme, and maybe a little bit less common, I think that NBNB, at least when I came in, was much more known for the third floor type of folks, and the neuroethology, and that the cellular and molecular area was kind of more developing. And it was interesting to talk about the conversation that we had about integration and how to get more integration. And I think that I tried, I think, more informally. I was very interested, with friends, and I had never done field biology, so I asked a friend if I could come with him to go collect katydids or something, because the outside biology was so foreign to me. And I went to all the seminars and tried to learn something from them. But I think when I came in, they had a requirement that you're supposed to, on your committee, have faculty members from across the department, and just the way things worked out. And I had a committee member who left, and then somebody who was hired with Dave Deacher came in. So the person that was on my committee, who kind of represented more of the breadth, left, but he came in, and his expertise was so sorely needed, that my committee was all first floor people. But I tried to seek out that integration in other ways, and I think that attitude was certainly perpetuated in the department. Well, I say, first of all, the confidence. I think that just like every graduate student, I certainly was met with a lot of challenges, and the feeling that, when I finally was seeing things through to the end, that if I could do this, I can do anything. And so stepping into my job from here, when I initially got the call and they said, oh, you're going to be teaching this intro bio course, and rattled off all the things that I would be teaching, and they were things I hadn't thought of since early in my undergrad years. Oh, you're going to teach Mendelian genetics and this central dogma, and I just said and then later on, I had this moment of going, what did I just agree to? But I felt confident, that I would do it. I could get through it, and I would do it. And certainly, that feeling was echoed among my peers, and among, the faculty, the people who came up to me, and certainly Ron, my advisor, who was still is kind of the mentor that I look up to for all things. So, yeah. As I said, it's the only piece of advice that Ron ever gave me that I didn't heed the year that I came back after I graduated, and I was finishing up papers. I was working at the computer outside his office, and every time he walked by, he'd mutter to me, "Don't become chair. Don't ever become chair. If you have to feign illness." And I certainly see why he would say that, and And his true love. I mean, he has a lot of passions. He's the teaching and the research. I mean, he loves to be in the lab. And he's told me, he's really getting a kick out of working on his own. And I like to be in the lab too, but that's where I think we differ a lot. And I thrive on the people interaction, and I like working with the students and working alongside them, and working alongside my colleagues. And I think that's been the best part of being chair is getting to know my colleagues who, in a small department, well, compared to Cornell, I mean, it's almost, our department is probably about the same size as NB&B, but it's biology. It's all of biology. So I've really been enjoying getting to know my colleagues and kind of mentoring some of my younger colleagues in analogous ways that I mentor the students. So it has its ups and downs. See. I think that, my main suggestion that I offered today that I think, that I heard not only from my own talk, but that I think the career planning and my path, I think everybody's path is unique, even if they end up in a large university like Cornell as a faculty member, how you get there is different. And certainly coming straight out of graduate school into a faculty position, there certainly were a lot of things I didn't know, and just had to kind of wing it the first year, and it worked out all right. So I figure I must be successful. But I think that, like I said, it seems like some of the advice I had were, people stopping me, Paul Sherman stopping me in the hallway. And Ron was always there, and he was always very systematic in giving advice and telling me, go around the lab, write down things that you need, that you see, and where they're from, and to help develop, what I would need. But I think that whether it's something more formal in terms of career preparation, or just building a database, the electronic access database of there's so many people here today in so many different corners. And I already had a graduate student come up to me and say, I'm interested in going to a liberal arts school. Do you have any advice? And I said that in my talk, please do this, please, talk to me. And so maybe that would be, that I think, because I can certainly recognize the workload issue for the faculty here. And so saying, yes, y'all should plan some seminar or something on career education, but even something simple like that. Here's a database of NB&B alumni and where they are and what they're doing, and feel free to contact them to ask about that. So I think